I'm delighted to have been asked to be here in front of you today and to talk about a little bit about what I do. And I began doing this a little more than 20 years ago. Not realizing that that it would be something that I would do so frequently and become recognized for what I do. And it's humbling to be a part of the Hymn Society and to be able to work with people like Mel and John and Adam Tice and Tom Troger and the late great Herman Stempfli, and to get to know these people and to have them set words to my music, and that I get to take their words and put music to them. I was told that I'm aware that many people today, and I don't know if that's true at all with you all, find that hymns could be passé or stodgy, depending on what your the tradition or the culture or the generation or the flavor of your denomination or your particular parish. I've had the great fortune of, although I grew up in a big, tall, steeple Presbyterian church, I also had 7 years of working in a Roman Catholic parish, and which changed my world dramatically in terms of worship, of liturgy and music, and how music functions, and also how how styles can be all styles are welcome, and I've learned that also through the Hymn Society. I would have been someone 20 years ago who would have fought against guitars and drums in church. And as recently as 20 years ago, and then I slowly became a convert, and now can't imagine worship without all kinds of instruments, and I try to embrace all styles and try to do so in my own music. So I'd like for us to sing. Did everyone get one of these little? Right, it's all right. Okay. And there's one more over here. What did I do with them all? All right. There you go. So it's when I heard Mel's voice in here when I came walking down the hall, I said, "This is perfect." I said, "Here's an example of what the kind of music that I now would write a song." And so I wrote this tune specifically for Mel last summer, and I wrote it on a particular day. As you can see, it was August 1st, and by August 2nd, she had written these words. And she took Psalm 104 and made a wonderful paraphrase of it, and we delight in it. The tune name is called A Day Late, and that's because I intended to write it for her on July 31st, which is her birthday. So let's just sing. Here's how it goes. I'll play it. Oh, you want to sing? Okay. Flying on wings of flame, you moving hills with your oil of faces shine. Every beast and bird Every creature given breath now sings, all our lives with joys abound. For you fill the world with wondrous things, and all earth is holy ground. You make springs to gush from rolling hills, with your oil our faces shine. Every beast and bird your bounty fills, and you gladden our hearts with wine. Yes, you gladden our hearts with wine. Thank you. I brought that one not just because it was was such fun, but because it's also the psalm paraphrase, and singing the psalms is so important in so many traditions, and there's a much effort by many denominations now to restore the singing of psalms in worship where it might have fallen out of tradition, or may have never been a part of the tradition to sing them. And so I was delighted to bring that as an example, and I'm thrilled to death that you're in here. My evolution as a hymn writer. Again, I started in writing hymns that you might sound in a more traditional classical style of tune. But as I began to know and encounter more styles and more people who wanted to broaden my sounds, and I got a little more bold, I encountered a text here that is by Joy Patterson called "Do Not Be Afraid," and it's a scripture song from Isaiah 43, and I intended it to be sung in a big, rousing, kind of like a rock anthem style, with the big, powerful refrain, and then a cantor or a choir, probably just a solo person, or more than one, would sing the verses, and then the congregation would roar in with the refrain. I've actually encountered it sung in places where I didn't know it was being used, and walked in to hear it being sung very ethereally and very softly and very as though it were a comfort song, and I intended it to be this big, huge rock thing. So I'd like to do it my way, and so let's sing a little bit of "Do Not Be Afraid." Thank you. Let's try it. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Chosen and beloved, you are my own. Do not be afraid, for I have redeemed you. By your name I called you for my own. Look up, a new thing I am doing. It springs forth, look and see it grow. Through wilderness I'll make a level highway. Through deserts make streams and rivers flow. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Chosen and beloved, you are my own. Do not be afraid, for I have redeemed you. By your name I called you for my was a song and with a refrain chorus that that became very that I became very well familiar with while I was working in the Roman Catholic Church. It's a very commonly used song form, and now, of course, is also, you see the form now used in many denominations. But this was my first real attempt at with that kind of a format, and so thank you for singing it just now.
I've never heard it done your way before.
Okay, well, and what we're missing, of course, is the big drum beat, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and the bass and the guitar, and it really, it can be quite big, and when done that way, and so,
That's the way it was done in Montreat for the youth conferences.
Yes.
It was a big hit with youth conferences.
Well, that's cool. Yes, all right. And I walked in at Montreat Worship and Music one time, and it was being done this very slow way, and I thought, did I write that? So it's all right. No, it's fun, but no complaints. To have your work done anywhere and performed, that's what we composers do. We write music hoping that it gets sung, and are so grateful when it does. Did you find that song? Did you really?
Yeah.
I was in a place, and I wrote a tune. And if you can you put it on the screen?
I just turned the
Okay.
computer on, so it's
I was in a place, and that was a painful place for me, and I wrote a tune, and didn't know what to do with the tune originally, but she's got it all
yeah, I
there.
don't have a melody-only version, so I
Okay.
have to scroll through it.
All right. But here's how the tune went, and again, I trust Mel very much, and I send these tunes to her with the idea that she is the one who will understand where what I'm feeling, and will know what to do. And I don't know what she will do. I just know that she will do it. She'll know where I am. And here's that tune. Personal tune to me, and I think Mel wrote a deeply personal text, and that's her story, and this tune is my story, and together these stories have merged. Let's sing some. Ready, go. In the stillness, God of mercy, hear the whisper of my prayer. Shamed and shy to come before you, by your strength I trust and bear. You know what I feebly cling to, walls I build to guard my fears. Lay my weakness as your offering, That last line is now take and bless the gift of tears. All right, and so, but you can see that she went to a very personal place that fits with the character of this text. I mean, with this tune, and that I just wept when I saw these words, and so it's of all of the composers that I have the privilege of working with, this is so fortuitous that you're here now, because it's her preferred way of working. And so as a composer, I hear music in my head all the time. And so it's something that I might just, out of being in a particular mood, we will bless you, God of, or this, that I have someone who is there, who will set those, and I can't thank her enough.
Well, you remember the first time you played this tune for me, and I said, is it okay for this to be in the first person singular?
Right.
Because the tune just felt like a deeply personal, introspective, and you said, oh, it has to be.
Yes, right. Right. And for the longest time, before it actually had a tune name,
Oh, it's called tune,
right now we called it it was just called Personal Tune, and so it's now the tune is called Treasured, and which is a word taken from the second verse. I'm not going to sing that one anymore. Thank you, Mel. There's another, I had a similar experience though with another tune, and I want to demonstrate a different style. I had another, I have a dark side. And so I found myself in need of a lament. And I wrote a tune that you might not think about as being a lament, because it's a Latin dance, it's a bossa nova. And it goes like this. Will morning never come? Will morning never come? In shadow lands I dwell. God turn to me, come set me free, unlock my mental hell. And when the morning comes, I will lift up my eyes and see your face that shines with grace, for you have heard my cries. You hear my simple prayer and my unspoken fear. Before I speak the words I seek to you aloud and clear. And as you hear my prayer, my spirit sings anew. For through my pain you will remain. I can still turn to you. For in the midst of praise, sometimes I twist with doubt. Your love is sure and will endure, so I would sing and shout. My voice will rise in praise to sing what you have done. You heal my soul and make me whole. A new song has begun. So I just had this guilty beat going, and then I needed words to go with it. And I asked. This time I went to my friend, and who I think of as my son, almost as Adam Tice, Mennonite pastor and marvelous text writer. He kept coming back and making it too happy, and I kept saying, no, more. It needs to be darker, more. Don't get too happy too soon. And so we worked on it back and forth several times until I said, okay, we've got it there. But it's a lament that we don't often sing lament in church. Many churches are coming around again to the idea that it's okay to cry out in church, and so this is a form of very much like a psalm, and has some recognizable psalm references in it. The one song that I was asked specifically for today is another Mel birthday tune. And it's on the back of your page. And it's called Go in Peace, Go in Love. And I wrote this in, 2009, and got it to her on her birthday that time. So I was just fooling around and had. So it's a little benediction song. So it's a great journey to be on, and to have these fabulous people to work with, and to hear my songs being sung. And no composer could ask for anything more than that. And I encourage you to find all kinds of these wonderful new things. And I didn't mean to call my stuff wonderful, but there are so many people right here on this campus as we speak who are creating some of the finest hymns and songs that you can't even imagine, and I've even come across in just the 2 days I've been here already this week. It's a wonderful thing. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sally.
Okay.